If you are new here, these are just weekly, this is weekly messages. These are essentially just quick messages. They're not long or drawn out about the potential energies, challenges, along with some guidance advice around that so that you can hopefully navigate your week ahead in the best possible way. Regardless of the dates that these weekly tarot messages come with, they're timeless. So when you land on these is when you were meant to hear them, so don't get too concerned about the dates that they come with. I always tell everybody to give themselves a second to feel into messages 1 through 4, and I will get started here with message number 1. Hello, message 1. Let's have a look and see what can be showing up for you guys this week. What do you need to know? Okay, we've got surprise. A disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those searching. Okay, so some things that are going to be unexpected showing up for you guys this week. And it might feel disappointing at first for you guys, as this card says. But I always think of this card as sort of the blessing in disguise. You kind of thought you wanted this, and then you feel a little bit sad and disappointed about it. But then something turns around and you're like, oh, well, actually, this is even better than what I had previously thought I wanted to happen. So keep that in mind if you're feeling that disappointment. And it says an invitation could bring love to those searching. So for my singles, a good week to say yes to invitations to mingle or to social events, because it could lead you to someone very special. Okay, let's see what else is coming up with that for you guys. The animal cards this week. They were calling to me. I don't usually pick those for weeklies, but I was really compelled to pull these this week, so we shall see. Okay, Fox Spirit, think on your feet. So fast thinking, quick thinking. And it's interesting coming out with that disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. It could be that you do have to think really quick on your feet. Like this could be job related or troubleshooting, essentially, regardless of whether it's job or not, because this is general. So that's not going to be the same for all of you. But it's about being able to think quick on your feet to turn a thing around, to make it better, stronger in some kind of way. And if it's showing up for you, it's because you have the capacity to do this. Even call in Fox energy if you're feeling, all tied up or anxious around this sort of thing. Say, help me to do this. I feel like you actually can. You naturally have the ability to do this. But when we're thrown off by something, or we weren't expecting something to happen, or we had to think on our feet quickly and troubleshoot, it can be really destabilizing. So this is your heads up to not let it knock you off your feet. You've got this. I really do feel like that. And then it's like something better follows this thing that went wrong. Think on your feet. Swan Spirit, this is coming out in the position of challenge, and it says time for a deep dive. Where do you need more contemplation and consideration? Where do you need to be reflecting more? What do you need to be thinking through and then feeling through so that everything comes together in the best possible way for yourself? Also, I want to say, because we've got this potential for love for those of you that are single this week, or an invitation can bring love. Swan energy is that I always think of the story of what is it, with the little ugly duckling story, where we don't feel good enough or beautiful enough, and then we realize that duckling was always a swan. It was never meant to be like everybody else. I feel like there's a bit of a message here of that sort of energy for my message 1 choosers. Allow yourself to be seen. You are worthy, you're deserving, you're beautiful, you've got this. You're not supposed to fit in the same box as everyone else. So if you've had a disappointment, even when it comes to feeling like you've been rejected in some way, let that go. You don't want to be attached to any one person or situation who doesn't see your beauty, your value, and what you offer. That seems kind of deep, but as it says, time for a deep dive. Really reflecting on the way that you think of yourself, how you see yourself, and your ability to overcome challenges is the challenge for you this week to overcome. You're capable of thinking on your feet and being like Fox, smart and savvy and kind of like, it's like this energy of I can move through the shadows and make things happen. You won't even know that it was me. There's something to that here for me, from a message one choosers. Know that about yourself, message one. Okay. Look at this bat spirit. A rebirth is assured. Yeah, a new beginning. Things turning around in your favor. But I do think, and I always say this with the weekly messages, it really does depend on you giving yourself over to these energies that come out first, especially the challenge one, going into that deep dive, giving yourself over to contemplation and reflection, looking at the way that you think and feel about yourself, the way you talk about yourself, letting go of things that aren't serving you, and then, allowing that thinking on your feet energy to show up for you. Not getting caught up in what didn't work out, or this, whatever this disappointment is for you guys. I definitely feel like it's two things. I think for some of you, it's in something that you tried to cultivate or do or create, not working out. And for others, I feel like it might be maybe a connection. Yeah, it's like that feeling of, I've been talking about this sort of thing a lot. This or something better. And it's like, oh, something better. But yes, there's going to be some disappointment at first, but there's actually something better. We just need you to believe and trust that. And then for those of you where you're dealing with a situation that is not going the way that you hoped for it, know and trust that you have the savvy, that street smart savvy, moving through the shadows and making things happen, thinking on your feet. You have that. Even if you're feeling a little disconnected, remind yourself of that. Take a deep breath, try to move that anxiousness out and say, okay, I know what to do and I'm going to do it. One step at a time. Look at that, Badger spirit. Be fearless and bold. There's definitely an element of worthiness and good enoughness that is an issue, I think, here for my message ones, at least at this time for you. Probably due to disappointments or feeling rejected by someone or something, or just having things not show up the way that you would like. And it almost feels like maybe that it's been a bit of a theme for you for a while. Like, why are things not going my way? I'm working so hard. I'm putting myself out there. Again, the biggest energy for us to focus on in weekly tarot messages is what's challenging us. Time for a deep dive, ebbing back, reflecting, really looking at your thoughts, the choices that you're making, the directions that you're choosing, and really getting into a good, grounded, present place with it so that you can lean into the energy of thinking on your feet, being fearless and bold, showing up wholeheartedly and authentically with whatever this is for you guys, right? Because we've got a few things going on here with the overarching energy. Geez, I can't talk. I need to slow down. Don't allow yourself to get too hung up on this disappointment, whether it is a rejection of some sort or something that you've been working on that's not quite going the way that you had hoped. You have all of these energies within you. You have that fox energy of thinking on your feet, street smart, savvy, moving through the shadows and getting it done. A new beginning will result, whether this is with a person in a connection or with kind of solidifying what you've been working on and making it even better, even if there's a problem before that happens. Being fearless and bold. This is where you get to moving through these energies. And I'm not sure why this card got left behind, but I'm going to pull it up. Grasshopper spirit. So it was left behind when I pulled the cards away. It was the bottom card. It says take a leap of faith, grasshopper spirit. So I think thinking outside the box is going to be really important for my message one choosers this week. Doing something that you wouldn't normally do, taking a calculated risk. Just saying kind of like, screw it, I'm going to do this thing even though it's not really me to do it. I'm going to do it. Or putting yourself out there. Something along those lines, taking a leap of faith in that way is going to be a really good idea for you guys. So I say go for it. Ooh, okay. Look at this, fruition. Rest assured, your dreams and visions will come to fruition. Yeah, so whatever problems that you're dealing with right now, with all this troubleshooting energy that's showing up for you and needing to maybe reset, rethink, think on your feet, redo, make it better. It's only going to serve to make this situation better and stronger than you had originally thought. Right? What is it? What do they say? God's redirection, or no? Yeah, God's redirection is God's protection. So if something, that feels quite negative or disappointing happens, it's only to make it better, because there is a better way. So frame this for yourselves, message 1, when you're going through this harder, disappointing energy. Rest assured, your dreams and visions will come to fruition. It's also kind of like that energy of don't give up this week, regardless of the things that are happening that feel less than stellar for you guys. Because you really do have a rebirth assured, rest assured. Your dreams and visions, they're coming to fruition. Stand out and allow yourself to be noticed too, and own the parts of you that are bold and fearless. Bring them back. I'm going to say bring them back in, because I feel like some of you have disconnected from them due to frustrations and disappointments and rejections for some of you. All right, I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope you all have the most amazing, beautiful week. Take care, guys. Hello, message 2. Let's have a look and see what could be showing up for you guys this week. What do you guys need to know? Okay, this one's flipped over, so I'm just going to go with it. Major life change. Time is right for major life changes, as a new lifestyle or location brings great joy and a trouble-free existence, right? So saying yes to all kinds of change. And I always find that when this card shows up for people, they tend to think they know inherently that they want and need change, but there is always fears around it. So be mindful of that. In order to have something different, we must do something different. And I feel like that's something you guys need to remind yourselves of. As it says, the time is right for it. A new lifestyle or location could bring great joy and a more trouble-free existence, which is amazing. So saying yes to new things this week, really good idea, because it likely will be the first pieces of that catalyst to change. And I would say, too, that for some of you, even if you feel a little bit of fear around it, but also excitement, lean more into that excitement, because big changes are a little bit scary because we can't predict what the outcomes are going to be. All the more reason, though, for you to reframe whatever you feel. If anxiousness shows up as, I'm not scared, I'm excited, I'm ready for this change. So usually what this means too is that it's the beginning pieces of the change. It could be quite major for some of you, like a really big 180 happens, but more often than not, it's just the beginning pieces. So keep that in mind for context. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a big 180 change happen necessarily moving forward this week. Buffalo spirit, the abundant universe will provide. And I will say right out of the gate, when this shows up as a main overarching energy, there's usually fear around, how will I make this happen? I don't have enough finances to do this thing, to go in that direction, to take a leap of faith in some kind of way towards what I really, really want. And spirit's jumping in hot and heavy to say, yes, you do. It'll all work out. You have to trust and believe that it will. The abundance universe will provide. So it's sort of a heads up to not get caught up in the how of things. Dolphin spirit. This card's always so interesting. This and that are true. It's sort of a reminder, a heads up to my message twos, that two things can be true at the same time. And usually that means some sort of polarity, where there's light and there's dark, and both things can be true. It also could be suggesting, maybe for some of you, not getting caught up in too much disagreement or argument, because maybe this is connected to other people or another person, and you might be seeing a situation through a different lens. So it's sort of like, remind yourself of that. We're all coming from a different place and seeing things through a different lens. and that you can both have a point and you can both be right and they can both be true at the same time. It's just the context for each of you is different. I hope that that makes sense. Either way, this and that are true. It's a reminder, it's a heads up that challenges you that two things can be true at the same time that seem opposing. I feel like there's this big energy of not getting too caught up in these energies, lest you miss these opportunities that are coming up for you, are going to show up for you to bring in major life change that is much better for you in the long run. Look at this. Rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time. Yeah, embracing this. Not getting caught up in the energies of how will I make this happen? What about this? What about this? Right? This and that are true. Really, really strong message for you. My message to choosers this week. Luck is on your side. This is happening for you, not to you. As often as you can, just remind yourself of that. This is happening for me. This is what I've been asking for. I'm just going to lean into faith and trust that it's showing up at the right time and it's meant for me and everything will work out. The abundant universe will provide. This is a lucky time for me. I'm not going to get caught up in the rightness of this action or that action or allow myself to go in one of those mental loops of overthinking. Because I definitely think those are energies that may have stopped my group 2 choosers in the past. And I feel like the universe is really highlighting that you don't want to allow yourself to go into that energy unless you push these positive changes back even further. It's our patterns as humans. We all get stuck in them so easily. So I think that, to put it as simply as possible, breaking the pattern of overthinking and getting stuck in the questions about how you're going to do things is a big message here for my group 2s. Just know that it will all work out for you. Yeah. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. Time to let go of what was to say yes to what could be. I'm definitely getting that there's a lot of fear. You know inherently you want change. It needs to happen on a many levels, a soul level. You are ready for it, but you do get caught up in, I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know how I'll have enough to make this change financially or support-wise. Going back and forth and weighing options and having points of view that differ from other people that this may be connected to, this change. This and that are true. You both have a point. Don't get too caught up on the rightness of each thing that you're thinking about. Just go with what feels right. Trust that you have the logic, the reason to make it all happen and that the universe will provide. I feel like I came in here to just tell my message to choosers. You've got this. Trust it. Go in and lean into faith, hope, and trust as much as you possibly can. Really catch yourself when you're feeling like, I feel that familiar pattern of pulling me in, telling me to be afraid of this and not do it because all these what ifs are popping up in my head. Mindfulness keeps coming to my mind for you guys. Yeah, in order to invite anything new, we have to let go of what has been. And know and trust. Like, this is the big message from Spirit here, is in this position, saying that this is a lucky time for you, right? So divine timing is everything. Sometimes we're like, well, I've had this opportunity before and it didn't work out. Something to do with timing. Not this time, though. Message 2, the timing is on your side. It's just this big go for it energy. Saying yes to yourself. Look at abundance. When your heart's intention is to serve humanity, doors of abundance naturally open. Okay, I love that for you guys. You've got abundance showing up twice and saying the abundant universe will provide, but also, remind yourself of your very good intentions, why you want what you want, why you want to create what you want to create, move towards what you want to move towards. There are good intentions behind it. So again, when you feel that familiar pull of patterns of negativity, what ifs, fears, pulling on you, telling you to stay where you are and not move, it's our ego's way of protecting us from any potential danger, but you're not in any danger. And this message, I feel like, is trying to be very loud for you guys to say, please trust and move towards this thing. We've got you covered. We will provide for you. We'll show you the way. We just ask you to have faith and say yes. When your heart's intention is to serve humanity, doors of abundance naturally open. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like this is something that has eluded my message to choosers in the past, but you're coming into a time where the energies are ripe for you to be starting to receive exactly what it is that you want. All the help, all the positive change, all the opportunities. Just don't get caught up in the hows and the fears around it. I know that's easier to say than to do, but this is the big ask for you guys this week. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope you all have the most amazing, beautiful week. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. Let's have a look and see what's showing up for you guys this week. What does message 3 need to know? Perseverance. You may feel like you are getting nowhere, but there are wonderful changes ahead. Don't give up. This is a strong message coming through this week. Don't give up. Perseverance. So this suggests to me that probably some of you have been going through some challenges, and there's an energy of exhaustion that's underlying these challenges where you're I'm almost ready to be like, this is this really worth it? I feel like the answer to that is yes. Either way, the big energy, the big ask for you is to keep going, keep moving forward, don't give up. As this says, there are wonderful changes ahead. It says don't give up. Persevere. Persevere and you will succeed. It's funny because I keep getting this feeling of I'm tired of having to be strong all the time and have everything feel like hard work. Like I just want something to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more simple, a little bit more smooth. I feel like that's on the other side of this perseverance and not giving up. You know, as it says, you feel like you're not getting anywhere, but all of a sudden this thing will just crack right open and you'll be right where you wanted to be. Okay, we've got Pig Spirit. Use your mind wisely. So be mindful of your thoughts, thought patterns, limiting beliefs, negativity that might be showing up in your mind. But also, I feel like for some of you, maybe too, with anger or frustration and thoughts about others and the way that they've maybe contributed to your situation being harder than it needs to be. This is general. I definitely don't think that's a message for all of you, but I do feel like some of you needed to hear that. Use your mind wisely. Don't let it take you... don't let it spiral you out of control into fearful, negative, limited thinking. It's interesting because I think this is happening because we've got in the position of challenge, hummingbird spirit. Be here now, being present, not up in your head, not in the how, what if, I can't believe this happened. Am I wasting my time? I'm so frustrated. Why does this have to be so hard? Why do they have to do this? That kind of thinking. It's a really good time to up-level your energy of self-awareness and catch yourself in these thought loops because they are hindering progress and likely slowing it down. And hummingbirds are all about bringing in joy. What can you do for yourself that will snap you out of this negative thinking? Does dancing around make you feel more joyful? Do you love music, singing, going for walks, painting, drawing, watching documentaries, or whatever it is? Anything that will bring you back to the present moment and into joy that really fills your cup emotionally. Allow yourself time to do this so that you can get back to being present and out of your mind and overthinking. Because our thoughts are massive attractors to, it's like where energy goes, or how does that go? Where thoughts go, energy flows. It's that kind of energy. So you want to be really mindful of that. Be here now. Bring joy in however you can. Okay, we've got Mouse Spirit. Tend to the small things. Taking care of the little details. And you know, that's tedious at times, but if it's showing up, it's because it's like you've got these wonderful changes ahead, but perhaps they need a little bit of tweaking. You know, maybe you're really good at handling the broader picture of your situation and working on the bigger things, but fine-tuning always brings about better outcomes, I would say, because we really are aware of all the little details without getting so caught up in them that we lose ourselves to them. Either way, a message to tend to the small things rather than worrying about the big picture right now is going to bring about positive change for my message 3s. So what are those little details that you might need to tweak or fix or make better, stronger somehow? Give your energy over to that. And remember to continue to monitor the way that you're thinking about your situation. Because, you know, perseverance, don't give up. There's wonderful changes ahead. Also could be Spirit's way of saying you've missed a few little things and we want you to go back in and look at the little details. A little tweak here and a little tweak there could all of a sudden crack your situation open and like massively where all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, it's all working out for me. What I wanted is happening. I just needed to fix these little things and then boom. Prosperity, abundance, things starting to be better for me and working for me. Finally, it's that kind of feeling. Dog Spirit, be loyal to what you love. Be loyal to what you love. It's almost this feeling of temptation to move away from it because it's been so daunting, exhausting, and hard because it's taking such a long time. Because I feel like for some of you, you've been at something and working towards something for so long. And it's just like, I'm over this. I don't know if I can keep doing this. You know, to have nothing show up for me the way, you know, with all the hard work I'm putting into these things in this situation. And to just have it not happen for me, it's like, when's it my turn? It's coming. But you must remain loyal and true to it. I really think that for my message 3s, it would be such a good idea for you guys to give yourself a little time in the week ahead for self-care, self-love, doing anything that makes you joyful and happy. Because I think it's going to be the break that you need so that you can go back in and tend to these little details and feel that trust and loyalty towards what it is that you're doing and keep going with it. I think it will also help you break free of your own mental prison with the worries, the fears, the what ifs, the frustrations. Okay. Blue star, follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. Isn't that interesting? Because the Mouse Spirit, tend to the small things. I feel like there's a few little things that you've missed. And if you give yourself a little break, get back into joy, get present, release the negative thought patterns, you're going to receive the truth about something and the way forward and the situation. And like I said, all of a sudden something just blows up and it's working out now. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. Like this aha moment, this knowing, like, oh my gosh, I see it now. I didn't realize I hadn't done this little thing, or that this little piece of the puzzle was missing. And now I have this information and boom, everything's starting to move forward in the best possible way. Blues, something about the color blue itself for me. This might sound really silly to some of you, but I feel like wearing blue will be helpful, right? Because, I mean, I know sometimes we think of blue as like sadness in blue, but not for you. For some reason, message 3, I feel like it's a lucky color in some, I don't know why. It's also connected to the throat chakra and expressing ourselves and speaking our truth. So there's something to that for me. Give it a go. I mean, it's not really that hard to wear blue, right? But I feel like it could help you to connect to truth in some kind of way. All right. I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope that you all have an amazing, beautiful week. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. Let's have a look and see what could be potentially showing up for you guys this week. What do you guys need to know? I'm apologizing ahead of time because there's a lot of noise going on in my home right now. So the camera will probably pick that up. Intuition. Trust your intuition. It's a great time to learn a new skill, change careers, or invest money. Ooh, so whatever you're having a niggle around, and especially if it's around one of these 3 things mentioned in this card, trust it, lean into it, and get further information around it, because you are supposed to do something with it this week, guys. Or this could just be the week where this information comes in and you should trust the intuition and then start putting a plan in place around how you can take action around it. Trust your intuition. It's a great time to learn a new skill, change careers, or invest money. Okay, let's pull some more cards. It's sort of like the energy of when you're feeling a pull towards something and you're not sure why. And for some, I'm sure that you do recognize why you're feeling it, but trusting it and kind of pulling on the thread more. Your intuition is going to be on point this week, message 4. Lean in. Ooh, look at this. Crow spirit. Co-create with spirit. Really spiritual people, number 4. You are very spiritual people. So very spiritually connected is what I should be saying here. Especially with Crow showing up. Intuition being the main overarching energy and co-creating with spirit. It's sort of like, it's a heads up too that you are capable of this. Very, very much connecting in with the spiritual realm, with the universal energy. And this week in particular, this is going to be very heightened, coming in hot for you guys, and you should lean in and trust it. And, you know, as you come upon these ideas and have these intuitive hits, ask Spirit to help you. How do I move towards it? How do I start cultivating this for myself? What do I need to do? I feel like you're definitely going to receive answers. Oh, there's that loud noise. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. Okay, so how in the past have you maybe disconnected from the spiritual part of yourself, this intuitive part of yourself? Also, with things that have gone wrong sideways or where they didn't work out for you. There's some element in that for you guys to really look at and consider, especially if it acts as a block or a stopper for you saying yes to what your intuition is telling you to do, move towards, invest in, create, or try out as in a course or something of that nature. There's something from the past that I think has maybe stopped or blocked you from saying yes to what it is you receive and trusting it. This is not the time you want to be doing that, message 4. You want to lean in. You want to trust fully and wholeheartedly. Oh, this showed up in one of the other readings. Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. This, to me, always speaks to leaning in to... Well, first of all, overthinking, right? Being a little bit worried about what ifs, getting stuck in what if, but what about, but how. It's that kind of energy. And I feel like this card shows up for people when they say, hey, this and that are true. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Both thoughts that you're having can be true at the same time, but choose the one that feels best. Choose the one that resonates most. Right? Or also about perspective, especially if somebody's perspective in regards to your situation or what it is you want to do is different from yours. They could have a point, even if you don't happen to agree. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the rightness or or the what ifs or the hows. This and that are true. It's just about being solid and making decisions too. Not, again, don't get caught up in the rightness of things. I feel like that's more the message here for my group 4s. Yeah, it doesn't have to be black and white, your situation. It's very nuanced. It's very gray. Lean into the gray area and don't get too caught up on the correctness or the rightness of whatever it is that you choose. Just trust your intuition and move in that direction. Okay. Ooh, wow, we've got Crow and now Raven. You are very spiritually inclined this week, message 4. You've got spirit coming in and universal energy coming in hot and heavy. White Raven spirit, trust in the magic. Yeah. Not overthinking, not worrying about the rightness of things, learning from the past where maybe you weren't leaning into your intuition and trusting it. You let it go, only to find out later that you were right. You were accurate. You should have done that thing that you thought. Those feelings that you were feeling were correct. Your gut was telling you the right thing, but maybe you missed opportunities or situations to even show others like, hey, you see what I was saying? I was right. But again, don't get too caught up in that. This is just a really good week for you guys to connect to universal energy, to spirit. You've got the Raven and the Crow, co-create with spirit, trust in the magic. So a lot of doubt here too. I think second guessing yourself. Am I really receiving wisdom from the universe, from my spirit guides, from spirit? Is this really happening? And overthinking it. Or, oh, I think that was just my ego jumping in, or my logical thoughts, or I think I'm the one that's creating the situation and it wasn't actually spirit. Both can be true. It can be you along with spirit, because you are meant to co-create with spirit in some kind of way. But it does require doing something different and listening to your intuition and knowing that if you're called and compelled to move towards something, whether it's a new job, invest money somewhere, or cultivate a new skill, it's a yes for you this week. And Spirit wants to show you the best way to do it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to say too, for my message 4s, give yourself over to a little bit of meditation or automatic writing, if that works for you guys, where you essentially just sit quietly and you write down whatever comes through, because I think a lot will come through, because you're going to be so energetically and spiritually connected this week. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I just said meditation. Yeah. Meditation. Take a moment to connect to Source through quiet, reflective meditation. Yep. If you ever needed a reason to say, should I do that, or should I allow myself or take these 10, 15 minutes to do that, look at this reading. Absolutely, you should. Co-creating with spirit, believing in magic, not getting caught up in the details and the truthness and the correctness of things, learning from the past, because change, a new skill, it's a great time to learn things, because you've got good as a result of you saying yes to this gut feeling that's going to show up for you. I think for some of you it already has. Really lean into connecting to spirit this week. You will receive answers. You need to trust what comes through and your vibes about where the directions you need to take. You're getting a big yes, a big heads up from spirit saying, we've got you. This is the week. Please make time for us. We want to show you the way and show you how intuitive you really are, because I think some of you have discounted your intuition many times over, only to find out later, oh, actually, I was right about that. I just didn't trust myself. Meditation this week, really good idea for you guys. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope you all have the most amazing, beautiful week, and please, please give yourself over to some of this meditative energy, whether it's automatic writing or sitting in meditation, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes every day. I feel like it's going to be really profound for you guys. Okay, guys, take care.